Bandeham Shiguro Shiyata Parakamalam Shigurun Vaishnavamscha Shirupam Sagrajatam Sagana Ragunatambitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shirada Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivishakam Vitamscha Om Jnana Timrandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasma Shigurave Namah Gurva Bhistam Supurukam Gurganara Sesha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipanam Shirupa Patanugam Govinda Vidam Ujwalam Bharatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Bhande Vishwagurun Cha Divyat Bhagavad Premna Bija Pradam Devam Divyatanum Suchanda Bharanam Balarka Chelan Sandrananda Puram Sadeka Varanam Vairagya Vidyamburim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Manditam Shubharam Mareka Sharanam Nyashishwara Sridharam Sri Siddhanta Saraswati Vidito Gaudiya Gauravanvai Bhattabhano Riva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanai Mayavada Tamingilo Daragatan Udritya Jivaniman Krishna Prema Sudabdi Gahana Sukam Pradap Prabhum Tambaje Vansha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahabaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaurativishe Namah. So I'm continuing with my reading of the Sikshastaka commentaries by Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev-Goswami Maharaj. And this is the fourth verse of the Sikshastakam. And this is entitled Unalloyed Devotion. Na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavitamba jagadishaya kamaye mama janmani janmanishvare bhavatad bhaktir haituki tvai. Na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavitamba jagadishaya kamaye mama janmani janmanishvare bhavatad bhaktir haituki tvai. O Lord, I have no desires to accumulate wealth, followers, beautiful women, or salvation. My only prayer is for your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Lord, I have no desires to accumulate wealth, followers, beautiful women, or salvation. My only prayer is for your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. Illumination. We should try to move in this direction. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I don't want any money, na dhanam. I don't want any popularity or manpower, na janam. I don't want the company of beautiful ladies, na sundarim. I don't want a good name or the fame of a poet, kavitamva. This is the general meaning of this verse, but it has been deeply dealt with in the commentaries of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Our Guru Maharaj has commented that in this verse, wealth, followers, women, and scholarship represent duty, wealth, sense pleasure, and salvation, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has explained that in this connection, or in this context, wealth means the wealth which comes from following one's prescribed duties. It can also mean artha, economic development. He says followers means physical relationship for comforts, wife, children, and so forth. The word sundari means kama, the company of beautiful ladies. And kavitam, poetry, represents moksha, liberation. Liberation apparently has a high value, but really, like poetry, it is only flowery words. Liberation is imaginary because the ultimate result of liberation is that one's existence vanishes. Service capitalist. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, O Lord of the universe, I only pray for spontaneous devotion to you without motive for any reward. I want a natural serving attitude. Prema means affection, love. Prema means I shall serve you and in remuneration you must give me more of a tendency to serve you, more energy and more hankering to serve you. My affection for you will be enhanced, and the interest will become capital, just as in the money-lending business. In this way, a devotee prays to Krishna, I'm serving you, and if you want to pay me something, then give me more capital to increase my serving tendency, so it may be more enhanced. Wherever I am born, according to my karma, I aspire only for your service, my Lord, and I pray for unmotivated service, not for anything else in return. The general temptation that follows us on four sides is of four classes: money, followers, women, and liberation. And that means dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. In this way, the gradations of different goals of life have been scientifically represented. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I have no attraction for any of these things, but only for you, my Lord. I don't even aspire after liberation. I will not even ask, give me liberation. For being liberated, I will be able to serve you better. That sort of condition must not be placed on divinity. This is the purest of prayers. According to my karma, I may be bird or beast, here or there, or even in hell. It does not matter. My whole aspiration is concentrated on one thing alone. I pray that my attraction for you may never be lost. I pray that it may always be enhanced. Bhakti devotion is a haituki, causeless. It is quite natural and has no other aspiration. Someone may say, if interest is always being reinvested as capital, I will never enjoy the profit. But we are interested in enjoyment by self-giving. Let others enjoy at my cost. That is the basis of the highest enjoyment. The devotee thinks, let Krishna enjoy with others. I will be the scapegoat. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that when a baby has no knowledge and an enemy or a disease comes to attack him, he cannot defend himself. In the same way, in the beginning, when one's realization of the holy name is in the childlike stage, then crimes and offenses against the name can prevail. When one's realization is grown up, no offense can approach him, but so many offenses may come and attack the beginner. The suicide squad. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, the holy name is so beautiful, gracious, and charming. Let me die along with all the offenses against it, so others may enjoy its nectar. He wants to sacrifice himself, just as in wartime, with bombs under their armpits, the suicide squad would jump into a ship's chimney. The suicide squad began with Japan's campaign against the British, and when Hitler heard of their fearlessness, he said, we have something yet to learn from Japan. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur prays, I want to finish myself along with all the offenses against the name, that others may enjoy the nectar of the holy name. Vasudeva Datta also prayed, give the sins of all souls to me and throw me into eternal hell so that they may benefit. Give them love of Krishna. By that highly generous sentiment, he does not die. It is said, die to live. When we have so much appreciation for the Lord that we feel this kind of sentiment, we find a living attainment of higher life. That is the enjoyment we want. The last verse of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sikshastakam will explain this feeling. Another example of this is found when the great sage Narada came to the gopis and asked them for the dust of their lotus feet for the treatment of Krishna's headache. Here we find self-abnegation to the highest degree, and that is the whole point of devotion. The very life of a devotee is based on sacrifice. As much as there is sacrifice, there is benefit. And sacrifice means die to live. This is a favorite saying of mine. These are Hegel's words, die to live. Krishna is the highest consumer known to the world. We should not hesitate to give ourselves to him. So again, this is the third verse Na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavitam vajagadishaya kamaye mama janmani janmanishvare bhavatad bhaktir haitukitvaye. O my Lord, I have no desires to accumulate wealth, followers, beautiful women, or salvation. My only prayer is for your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. So some interesting points raised here are when Srila Maharaj mentions that the devotee doesn't want dhanam, wealth, janam, followers, sundarim, beautiful women or beautiful wife, and janma, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam vajagadishaya kamai. Nor does one want the position of having that of a kavi or a poet represents liberation, where Guru Maharaj says, just like the liberation may appear so substantial to so many people, but for the devotee has no more importance than some flowery words of poetry without any real substance. So the prayer is that if you want to give me anything, give me more devotion to you. That is all I asked. And then there's the statement or the words given of service capitalist. Now, I know this is compared to the money lending business. A money lender, generally he will loan money to persons who don't have any credit. So he loans them money at usually a higher interest rate than the banks. Then they will repay the money with interest, and then the money lender will use the money that is repaid and the interest for the next loan. So in this way, he's always increasing his capital because he reinvests the interest in loans to future persons. So his capital is always increasing. If he loans something with 20% interest, then he has, where in the beginning maybe he had $1,000, now he has $1,200 which he loans, and when he gets it back he'll have maybe $1,450, and that will become the new capital. And in this way his amount of capital is always increasing, which he can loan out. So the devotee doesn't want anything for his or herself, but the devotee is always asking, if anything that you will give me, please give me more devotion to yourself. I only wish to serve you. So in that way, like the capitalist, one's amount of devotion can be increasing, and there's no self-interest there. Then also, we heard the example of here given about Narada Muni approaching the gopis and saying that Krishna wants the dust from pure devotees' feet because Krishna has a headache. So the gopis, after others are unwilling to give dust because they say putting dust on the head of the Supreme Lord is an offense by which one will go to hell. But the gopis liberally just began to take dust from their feet to give to Narada Muni. And then Narada Muni says, well, you know what the consequences are of this? And they said, yes, we will go to hell, but that is not important. What is important only to us is that Krishna's headache be cured. They're not thinking what will be the consequences for them. So there's that example. Then also the example of the suicide squad. The suicide squad means that those who are into the point of, or those who are into self-abnegation, they will give everything of themselves, not thinking of any consequences so that others may be benefited. Srila Maharaj has said the purpose of an ashram is that sukriti will be distributed to others. So that sukriti comes in many forms, but sukriti just generally, we can say, means not punya, not some pieties or some good karma result from doing good for others, but rather sukriti means spiritual benefit, which comes in the form of gyata sukriti and agyata sukriti. Knowingly, one receives or gives one receives sukriti, that one is doing some devotional acts knowingly because one wants to engage oneself in serving the Lord and his devotees. But sukriti may be also agyata sukriti, where the person engaged does not necessarily know that they're getting the benefits of sukriti. For instance, sometimes food may be distributed to the poor or to those who have no income, those who have no food. And that is an activity we can say a pious activity, which will produce good karma as a result. But at the same time, if a pure devotee is benefited, or if a hospital is open, generally that will be punya. But if a pure devotee is served in that way, through the endeavors of one to provide medical assistance to others, then those who perform that work, whether it's feeding the poor or giving medical service to a pure devotee, they unknowingly may get some sukriti. They're in the business of helping others, and that is pious activity. But if they render some service unknowingly to a pure devotee, then their spiritual life can begin as a result of that. The result of punya may be that in a future birth I get born in a family of a rich family, or etc. May get so many good results of good karma. But we're really interested in distributing sukriti. And if someone gets sukriti, even unknowingly, their spiritual life may begin. So now I'm going to continue with the 5th verse of the Sikshastakam. And this chapter is called King of the Land of Love. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitamam vishame bhavambudo kripayatava para pankaja stita duli sadrisham vichindaya. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitamam vishame bhavambudo kripayatava para pankaja stita duli sadrisham vichintaya. Translation. O son of Nanda Maharaj, I am your eternal servant, yet because of my own karma, I have fallen into this terrible ocean of birth and death. Accept this fallen soul and consider me a particle of dust at your holy lotus feet. O son of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna, I am your eternal servant, yet because of my own karma, I have fallen into this terrible ocean of birth and death. Accept this fallen soul and consider me a particle of dust at your holy lotus feet. Here Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu prays, O Lord, please consider me. I want to enter into the realm of your merciful glance. I do not know how to take proper care of myself, and so I invite your care. Please accept me and give me entrance. You are my guardian. I want to live under your protection. And who is he? We hear of different conceptions of God, but here we have come to a beautiful conception of God, Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj. This is found only in Vrindavan. A great spiritual scholar, Raghupati Upadhyaya, once met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu near Mathura. There they had a discussion, and Mahaprabhu asked him, whom do we want to have as our master? Who is the final goal of our life? Raghupati Upadhyaya answered, Shrutim apare smritim itare bharatam anye bhajantu bhavabita ham iha nandam bande yashalinde param brahma. Those who fear rebirth in this world may follow the advice of the Vedic scriptures. Others may follow the Mahabharata. But as for me, I follow Nanda Maharaj, in whose courtyard the supreme absolute truth plays as a child. In the system of Varnashram Dharma, Vedic social duty, the people in general are under the guidance of the Smriti, Vedic law. In this way, they are engaged in bodily duties with a color of godliness. Those who are free from physical demands, however, who are trying to transcend this life of enjoyment and exploitation, generally take their guidance from the Upanishads because higher advice is given there. Raghupati Upadhyaya says, I don't care for all these things, but I feel a need to follow the guidance of my heart. I am not so much concerned with the brain. I consider that real peace has its connection with the heart, and my heart is always attracted by Krishna's father, Nanda. Krishna is said by authorities to be the supreme absolute truth, and that absolute is crawling in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. So I see concrete reality there. How has Nanda attracted the supreme absolute truth? In the Srimad Bhagavatam, the devoted king Parikshit Maharaj asked the boy saint Sukadeva Goswami, Nanda kim makarod brahman shreya evam mahodayam yashoda cha mahabhaga papo yasya stanam hari. O knower of Brahman, you are always merged in the exclusive conscious world. No trace of any mundane objective reference can be found in you, for you are always engaged in the subjective world of spirit. Never is your consciousness thrown towards this objective world of ours. And you say that Krishna is the supreme absolute truth. I ask one question of you, my master. What duty did Nanda discharge? What sort of realization did Nanda have that the absolute truth is so intimate with him that he appears as Nanda's son and crawls about in his courtyard? He seems to be under Nanda's clutches. What is this? This is a most wonderful thing. Is it possible? The supreme substance suckles her breast. The yogis, the rishis, the great scholars, and penance makers say they sometimes have a rare peek into their object of aspiration and realization, and then they come back suddenly. They can't keep their attention in that plane for long periods of time. How is it possible that the supreme substance sits on the lap of Yashoda and sucks her breast? If such things are real, if it is at all possible, then why should I not be attracted by that method by which I can have so much intimacy with the highest entity? In his prayer, Raghupati Upadhyaya expresses a similar ego. He says, I don't want to be entangled in the subtle discussion and analysis of the scriptures. I just want to surrender myself to Nanda and his party. I want to enlist my name in the group where Nanda is the master guide. By the exercise of energy, karma, we can attain a good destination. Without faith in the achievements of karma, we may try for salvation by raising our consciousness, jnana. But if we inquire into the solution of life with the help of the experts of that higher spiritual realm like Nanda and his party, we can enter into the land of love and dedication. My faith, my common sense about religion tells me that if I see that supreme absolute truth, who is so rare, and find him real, concrete, and intimate, appealing directly to my heart, then why should I engage myself in wild goose chasing? I shall appeal directly to the object of my search. If someone tells me that a hawk has snatched my ear, should I chase the hawk without first touching my ear to see if it is still there? If I can have the absolute truth so intimately, why should I allow myself to run hither and thither? If I find that the absolute truth has kindly come with all his charm, and that his charm is not a secret, and many personages are being attracted by him, then why should I run after the phantasmagoria of the meditationist, the abstractionist, and remunerationist? Never. It is common sense. The straight understanding is given by authorities that Krishna, the son of Nanda, is supreme. So when we have come up to that standard, then we can ask, O son of Nanda, Krishna, king of the country of love, I appeal for your affection. I am your servant. I feel within myself that I have some connection with you. I am subordinate to you, but somehow I am in adverse circumstances. I feel that there are so many enemies within me that are trying to take me away from you that I can't give my attention to you all the time. At the same time, I feel from the inner plane of my heart that you are my master. You are all in all to me. My heart won't be satisfied without your companionship. So I appeal to you. I am under unfavorable circumstances. I am suffering, and without your grace, I don't find any means of relief from my present imprisoned position. The soul like a ray of sun. Here it is said, I feel that I am not eternally connected with you. If it were so, then this separation would have been impossible. Unlike an avatar, I am not your plenary portion. Other incarnations of the Supreme Lord are plenary expansions of him, Svamsa, but the Jiva is a partial representation of his potency, Vibhinamsha. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that the living entities are his eternal parts and parcels. The soul comes from marginal potency, Krishnera Tatasta Shakti Beda Bed Prakash. And the soul is an atomic fragmental part of the Lord's potency, like a ray of the sun. But here the devotee prays, I'm not part and parcel of your own body. I'm not even a ray, but my representation is near to that of a particle of sand, a particle of dust, not even a particle of the ray coming out of the luster of your body. In this way, Sriman Mahaprabhu is representing on our behalf that our petition may be of this type. I cannot indulge myself in thinking that I possess such fortune that I may be considered an inseparable part of you. I am a separable part, but I also want your grace. Please be kind upon me. I invoke your mercy for a special grant. Accept me in any position in your connection, even in the lowest position. At least this must be sanctioned. Consider me a particle of dust at your feet. This is my prayer. So this is the fifth verse. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitamam vishame bhavambudo kripaya tava para pankaja stita duli sadrisham vichintaya. The translation, O son of Nanda Maharaj, I'm your eternal servant, and because of my karma I have fallen into this terrible ocean of birth and death. Accept this fallen soul and consider me a particle of dust at your holy lotus feet. So there are innumerable wonderful points being presented in this verse. One understanding that we should have is that, for instance, in Srila Sridhar Maharaj's Prapana Jivanamrita, the qualities of surrender are explored. That surrender is very vital for one's progress in devotional service. And that surrender, of course, comes in humility, feeling oneself always protected by the Lord, accepting everything that is favorable for the service of the Lord, rejecting everything that is unfavorable for the service of the Lord, to enter into the family of the Lord, or to accept the Lord as one's guardian, and to in full surrender to utilize all one's words, thoughts, actions, everything in the service of the Lord. And in this Prapana Jivanamrita, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he has Upakramamritam, the auspicious introduction. Then he presents words from the scriptures emphasizing the importance of surrender. Then there is 6 chapters or 6 parts of words of the devotees in glorification of the different phases, the 6 phases of surrender. And then there is a chapter which is giving the words of the Supreme Lord about the importance of the surrender of his surrendered souls of the devotees. And of course, then there's the final words, we'll say like the epilogue of the Prapana Jivanamrita. But we all know that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. In fact, we could say he's more than Krishna. He's Krishna, internally he's Krishna, and he's covered with the Bhavakanti, the heart and halo of Srimati Radharani. So we can say that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, but his words and verses, especially the Sikshastakam, are included in the words of the devotees, not in the words of the Supreme Lord. Because what Mahaprabhu is always expressing in our best interest in his Sikshastakam is the prayer of a devotee, not the prayer of the Supreme Lord or not the words of the Supreme Lord. And you can see that very clearly in this verse where it is said, Ainanda tanuja kinkaram batita mam vishamay bhavambudo kripayatava pada pankaja stita duli sadrisham vichintaya. There is very clearly stated, O son of Nanda Maharaj, I am your eternal servant. Yet because of my own karma, I have fallen into this terrible ocean of birth and death. Accept this fallen soul and consider me a particle of dust at your holy lotus feet. Now these words may be the words of the Acharya, because the Acharya is expressing to us what is pure devotion and how we should proceed. But we can see this is the words of a soul who is appealing to the Lord for his mercy. Not the words of the Lord himself, but the words of his devotee. O son of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna, I'm your eternal servant, but I have fallen into this terrible ocean of birth and death. Now please pick me up and fix me as an atom of dust at your lotus feet. These are the words of a devotee. The Supreme Lord is not approaching in that way, but the Supreme Lord is giving us the sentiments of the devotee. So when I say the Supreme Lord is not approaching in this way, the Supreme Lord, Krishna, the appeal is to Krishna. The appeal is not coming from Krishna himself, but it is coming from Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna. But he always has the sentiment of a devotee. So that is very important. Then it is said, there is a reference to Raghupati Upadhyaya, who shows that why should we follow just the wild speculations of different interpretations of the Vedas, of running in this direction, of running in that direction. He says these are all phantasmagoria in one sense. When we see that the Supreme Lord is crawling in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, that means that Nanda Maharaj, by his devotion, has captured Krishna. So instead of running wildly in just so many different directions, why should I not approach and put myself in line for the service of Nanda Maharaj, who has Krishna under his control to that extent? So what is shown here is we should approach a proper agent of devotion. Nanda Maharaj, we can say, we can enlist our sympathies, our sentiments. Rather, I should say, we can enlist our sentiments, our service with him, and he can give us devotion. Now, there are agents of divinity, and we're approaching those agents of divinity. Gurudev, we're approaching Gurudev. On my own, I can't get anything. I need to approach Gurudev. And once I am settled in that way, then Gurudev will direct my further advancement. But this is a consideration. We should not just be wildly running after our mind. I have seen many persons who take to the path of Gyan, and unfortunately, they follow their mind, and their mind leads them off into some unknown situation. That is unfortunate. So I want to be engaged in something more substantial. I don't want to be engaged in just following my mind. As Srila Govinda Maharaj mentions, when he came to Srila Guru Maharaj, Govinda Maharaj came on the day of the Shringa Chaturdasi. And the first thing that Guru Maharaj asked him is, can you stay here? And Govinda Maharaj, of course, would stay. And then Guru Maharaj said, Can you follow what I say? Can you follow me and not follow your own mind? So that is very important. So this verse is very nice, and this is the appeal of a devotee that in the beginning, please take me out of this ocean of birth and death and fix me as a particle of dust on your lotus feet. Otherwise I'm just awash in this great ocean of birth and death. But if I am fixed on your lotus feet as a particle of dust, then I have some shelter. I've been taken out of that ocean. So we're not praying, as we've heard before, the previous verse, we're not praying for liberation. We're not praying for wealth or fame, or we're not praying for enjoyment. We're not praying for liberation. So when the devotee is appealing to be placed as a particle of dust at the Lord's lotus feet, it is not the sense of liberation. It is a sense of being fixed in the service of the Lord, which is something that we all want. So I can continue. I'll read now I'll read now the sixth verse of the Sikshastakam. Nayanam galadashrudaraya varanam gadgararaya gira pulakar nichitam vapukara tavanama grahane bhavishyati. Nayanam galadashrudaraya varanam gadgararaya gira pulakar nichitam vapukara tavanama grahane bhavishyati. Translation, O Lord, when will tears flow from my eyes like waves and my voice tremble in ecstasy? When will the hairs of my body stand on end while chanting your holy name? O Lord, when will tears flow from my eyes like waves and my voice tremble in ecstasy? When will the hairs of my body stand on end while chanting your holy name? Illumination. In this verse, the devotee's prayer has been granted, and he has acquired a position in Krishna's domain. Now his ambition has no end. Although he is posted in a safe position, he is again praying for further promotion. First, he aspired only for an insignificant position as the dust under the soles of Krishna's divine feet. Now the grant came. The touch of Krishna's holy feet came to the dust, and the dust was converted as if by a magic wand. Now a greater, higher demand automatically comes. The devotee thinks, what is this? I prayed only to become the dust of the soles of your feet. But what do I now feel within me? I am the dust of the earth, and you are the supreme absolute truth. But by the very touch of your lotus feet, dust has been converted into such a great and inconceivable substance. I wonder, how is it that I have been transformed? Now I find that my demand is for greater intimacy. First I aspired for servitude, but now by the touch of your lotus feet, that hope has been converted into spontaneous attraction, Raga Marg. The king of affection. Spontaneous attraction can only mean Krishna, not Narayan or Ramachandra. Krishna means one who is worshipped by divine love and affection. He is the king of affection, the center of affection and love. The devotee's whole conception of devotion changed just by coming in touch with Krishna's lotus feet. And he was graced by the demand for more intimacy. Greater love and affection came to grace that servitor. He was raised to such a plane of dedication that his prayer has changed. He thinks, what is this? I can't check my tears. They are coming incessantly. And when I try to chant your name, my Lord, I feel that I'm losing control. Some interference from another quarter is moving me, disturbing my normal thinking and aspirations. I feel I am in the midst of another plane. I am nowhere. I have lost control. I become a doll in the hands of some other power. Lotus feet, magic wand. My aspiration is taking me towards something else. Now I not only want a connection with you as a servitor from a distance, but coming in touch with the magic wand of your lotus feet. My aspiration has changed. I see so many devotees are engaged in your service and chanting your name, and seeing this, my hopes have been raised. I want to be lifted to that position. I can visualize that position from far away, but now my earnest prayer is that I may be raised to that level. Your connection has given me such thirst. I want to be handled by you. Play with me as you like in your own way. My heart hankers after such a relationship with you. When I chant your name with this feeling, I find that my previous conception has changed, and my new hankering is for the standard of spontaneous love. I pray that you lift me into that plane of your divine affection and love. Well, this is the 6th verse of the Sikshastakam. Nayanam galadashrudaraya vadanam gadgara rudaya gira pulakar nichitam vapukada tavanama grahane bhavishyati. O my Lord, when will tears flow from my eyes like waves and my voice tremble in ecstasy? When will the hairs on my body stand on end while chanting your holy name? So here we find that the devotee previously prayed, as in the words of Mahaprabhu, the devotee prayed to be fixed as a particle of dust at the lotus feet of the Lord. But in touch with the lotus feet of the Lord, the devotee became transformed and became eager, hankering for more service, more relationship with that of the Lord, and also to enter into a more intimate relationship with the Lord. Because here the reference is to these, you can hear there, when will tears flow from my eyes? My voice tremble in ecstasy. When will the hairs on my body stand on end while chanting your holy name? We see these symptoms of divine ecstasy and more in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his deep immersion of love for the Lord. So the prayer of the devotee is to approach, by approaching Krishna now, the prayer of the devotee is to enter into a more intimate relationship with the Lord. This means ragmarg. Ragmarg means the desire for some spontaneous love to be flowing from the heart, some spontaneous attraction. And that is what this prayer is. First, the devotee came and prayed to become situated, fixed in the service of Krishna's lotus feet. Now the devotee, and that indicates a relationship of dasya ras. But then we find further beyond dasya ras, there is sakya ras, there is vatsalya ras, and of course there is madhura ras. So the devotee now finds an aspiration for a more intimate relationship in those different rasas with the Lord, and that's what's also being expressed in this verse. First, some desire for being fixed at the service of the Lord's lotus feet, and now a desire for entering into a more intimate, loving relationship with the Lord, which is expressed in these words. O Lord, when will tears flow from my eyes like waves and my voice tremble in ecstasy? When will the hairs of my body stand on end while chanting your holy name? So with this, we finish with the 6th verse of the Sikshastakam, and tomorrow I will continue. For now we'll chant Hari Harayan. Okay. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Nama
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha
Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha
Gopal Govindaram Shri Madhusudan
Gopal Govindaram Shimadhusudan
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra
Gadadhara Shiva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Radhadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jai Rupa Sanatam Bhatta Raguna
Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raguna
Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raguna
Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raguna
Echai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan
Echai Goshai Kori Charana Bandhan
Jao Ente Vignana Shabista Puran
Jahoite Vignana Shabista Puran
Echai Gosai Jar Mui Taradas
Echai Goshai Jar Muitaradas
Sansabar Padarenu Mora Panchagras
Vashavara Pala Renu Mora Panchagra
Tader Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanibas
Kadir Charana Shivi Bhakta Shanivas
Janame Janame More Abhilas
Janame Janame More Abhilas
Echai Gosai Jabe Braje Koilabas
Echai Goshai Jabe Braje Koilabas
Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash
Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash
Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Brindavan
Anande Boro Hari Bhaja Brindavan
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majayaman
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majayaman
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyas
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyas
Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Naratamudar
Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Naratamudar
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Nitai Gora Haribo 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 Haribo
Jai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Nitai Gora Haribo 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 Haribo
Jai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhariju Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajakacharya Ashta Tarasata Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajakacharya Ashta Tarasata Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Sunanda Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishordas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Rupanuga Guru Bharga Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasha Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai Premsigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai Sri Chaitanya Bhagwat Ki Jai Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu ki jai. Jayam Vishnupad Vishvavaranya Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. Jayam Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmala Acharya Maharaj ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Madhacharya Vrinda ki jai. Shri Navadip Dham ki jai, Shri Dham Mayapur ki jai, Saparshada Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Saparshada Shri Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Kuladvip ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki jai, Soquel Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram ki jai, Ganga Devi ki jai, Tulasi Manarani ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopi Govardhan, Sham Kuna Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Jo ki jai, Shri Purushottam ki jai, Baladev Subhadra Jagannath Ju ki jai, Bhakti Vigna Vinashaya Shri Nrsingadev ki jai, Bhakta Prabhata Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, all the assembled devotees ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bo.
Shri Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj ki jai.